So today is Wednesday, the 18th of October 2023. A warm welcome, only a couple of weeks to Halloween. And I do have a very special video coming up on Halloween. Subscribe and you get to it. So China's brainwashed society and debt trap. Now, do you think, here's a question for you. Do you think the Chinese people are brainwashed by the dictation or the dictators or the well-being of the Communist Party? You can say yes, you can say no. There's a agreement or disagreement with that. Some things which have come in since Xi Jinping has been in rule basically is that schools will have to read books of Xi Jinping, Chinese thoughts. They've taken away bits of history, like what happened on June the 4th, 1989. They've rewritten the Bible in the favor of the Chinese party and taken bits away, but most people in China are atheists in a way that they don't believe in a higher being, but they will go to a temple to pray related to money, or they're hoping that their kids do well in their exams so they can graduate and move on to the next stage of their life. You may see countless videos of people in China saying this and how it is, and you'll see videos in school and it's so different. Are they being brainwashed in that way? If you ask a young person about a certain event in history which may be a little bit negative, they wouldn't know. The Cultural Revolution, which happened in the 60s and the 70s, initiated by Mao Zedong, basically anything bad will be taken away from that, and it would only be the good things. The start of China in 1949 up to about 1952, 1953, fantastic, great. It was the start of China, but soon things went downhill with Mao's literally crazy ideas. But people had to follow, because if they didn't follow, they would end up in a lot of bother. How do they brainwash people? Or how do they brainwash the world, basically? And who does this for them? Well, CGTN, Chinese Global Television Network, do have reporters, and they would constantly promote things related to how China is doing with their Belt and Road Initiative. In other words, a debt trap. And this is one of the awful ladies from CGTN who would promote this in a way. She obviously knows it's all porcupines and lies, but if she doesn't do it, what can she do? And it's all about money, money.
What's up, guys? Guess where I am? Ta-da! I'm in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania.
There really isn't any fluency to this video. This is just a sort of rant and rave. So with the Belt and Road Initiative, China comes in and they may give water to some village in Africa. Well done, congratulations, good for the villagers. But nothing in life is free. What does China want in return? They want the resources from that country. And this is what a lot of people don't talk about. What they don't talk about is how wonderful China is with the Belt and Road Initiative, but what does China get back in return? Now, as a business person, for example, or as you may be an investor, you put in $100 into a company, you want 1% of it, and you want that 1% indefinitely. And China, I could guess, wants exactly the same. But it's never talked about. So happy for the people to have water. Yeah, excellent. Agree. Well done. But something's got to come back. And that's what they don't talk about. You would see propaganda quite often like this and saying, this is part of China. Go to Taiwan and ask people when is the national day. They're not going to say October the 1st, which is China's national day. They're going to say October the 10th, which is Taiwan's national day. You do have the high government shills, like this evil man. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs or whatever, always going, well, of course, going with the government side. And he's just like a puppet. How Xi Jinping would say jump, he would say how high. You also have some European, or you could say Western shills, who do obviously work for the government. This one is Jerry Good. He's a little bit of a loopy-loo, but he would quote things like this, quite on October the 11th. Hamas is not a terrorist organization. Hamas is part of the army of Palestine. Same thing, really. And who else? Another one who lives in New York, Danny Haifong. Maybe you've heard of him. He's an author. He says the map is clear. Russia and China supports Palestine and opposed to Israel's collective punishment of the Palestine people. Hold on a minute. Who invaded Israel on October the 7th? I'm sure Israel didn't invade themselves. So there's a lot of people that get paid quite a lot of money from the CCP to brainwash not just the Chinese people, but the world as well. And it's surprising for me. I'm just a simple, ordinary guy. Maybe I am brainwashed in the Western philosophy, but I just find it really amazing that millions, hundreds of thousands of people would actually agree with some of these, and there's many of them around, and quite often I've named and shamed them as well. But if I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm right, let me right. But the Belt and Road Initiative, it is a debt trap. So what happens with the country that can't pay back the what do you say? Let's say the water pump in Africa. Well, then they may have the exclusive rights to all the minerals. So that country gets poorer while they employ Chinese workers, not local workers, Chinese workers to come in, take everything, thank you very much, get that country dry, don't really care about it, move on, and China gets richer and richer. Brainwashing. Constantly, China does this on social media feeds like Twitter. Even they have accounts on YouTube, even they have accounts on Facebook, even they have on Telegram, which is a strange thing because the Chinese Great Firewall doesn't allow you to go to these websites, but the Chinese government can. And people who do, the normal Chinese citizen, can use a VPN. With the VPN is sort of like, it's a grey area. Is it legal? Is it illegal? Sort of like, don't get into trouble, we'll let it go. For it's that kind of area. I'm sure the Chinese people know what's going on. Now, let's take a little break. Stay with me because this is just a little bit of fun in between these serious moments. I'll be back. So when you are viewing things about China, and it all seems to be positive. Yeah, there's many wonderful things. The infrastructure, the train system, the cities, the neon flashing disco lights which go on is all quite amazing compared to, you say, 30, 40 years ago when you'll be lucky on a summer's day to have more than 2 hours of electricity during the afternoon because it's blisteringly hot. It has got a lot better. People are, you could say, satisfied because their life has improved up to 2013. And again, in the last 10 years with bad boy Xi, not a bad boy like, yo, bad boy, but just he is just an evil person, basically, there, who's changed everything around and going back to the old ways, but using all the modern technology itself. So he's starting to brainwash people. You don't need to brainwash. You've got to give people an opinion. Some people in America like Joe Biden. Some people in America like Donald Trump. Some people in England like the Prime Minister. Some people like the leader of the Labour Party. It's choice. That is sort of democracy, giving you the choice, and not saying if you do say anything bad about the government, which is perfectly allowed in many different countries, then, but you just can't do that in China. So people just get on with it, satisfied, yeah. Could they get a lot more? Yeah, but when they do, the government intervenes. Look at Alibaba, which was owned and founded by Ma Yun, Jack Ma, and now he's been slapped on the wrist as a naughty boy. That brings us to a close on Wednesday, the 18th of October, 2023. Many thanks for your time. Please do that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. And if you can share it on your social media, it really helps the channel. I sort of get sometimes disillusioned that I only get 300 hits on a video when I have 32,000 subscribers. It's sort of weird. So please do check and turn on that notification buttons, because quite often I do 1 or 2 videos per day. This is my hobby. This is something like I enjoy. Am I venting my anger? Possibly. Am I right? I hope so. If I'm wrong, well, I'm sorry. But I'm just expressing opinion. And I'm doing this, as you could say, being a free person in the world who can express opinions about China, where some people in China cannot express the bad things in China. Food for thought. Have an epic day wherever you are in the world. I will love you and leave you, and I will say bye-bye and see you the next time. Tomorrow, I'm going to the brand new airport here in Siem Reap. It is the world's newest airport in the world. Can I say that? Yeah. Bye-bye for now. Thank you very much.